I want to show you some of the ways, some of the things I've done to get my bike set up to ride through the desert. I'm out here for a month. I'm like a week and a half in. I'm about 10 miles south of Amboy. I don't know if you can see that dark mound out there. That's the Amboy crater. That's actually a volcano. And then over there is the Mojave National Preserve. I just rode through there yesterday. And I'm riding along this highway here, and I just pulled off a few feet for a clothing adjustment. And I'm on my way down to Twentynine Palms. So the bike, some of you will recognize it as a Surly disc trucker. This is a 2016 basic setup, which is Ortlieb panniers, tubus racks, Brooks saddle. I'm not going to get into that too much, or even what's in the bags, but what I've done to be able to make long stretches through the desert, because I don't know where the closest bike shop is. It might be in Las Vegas, which is over 100 miles from here, and I honestly don't know when I'll be coming across another bike shop. And similarly with food and water, you got to be able to go, you know, the day without needing to resupply. So I stuck as many bottle cages on it as I could fit. I've got 3 factory cages, the one on the bottom too. So I've got 1 liter smart water bottles, and the one on the bottom, the only one that fits, is a 750 or 3/4 liter. And then I've got these 2 toe peak auxiliary kind of mounting bottle cages to give me 2 more liters up front. And basically I'm always working off of this one. It's easy to grab, I keep it open, and then they just get rotated up, trying to always keep the weight low. So the first empty one will go over here, and always just trying to keep the weight low with whatever I do. And then I also have, today I just have 2 more liters stuffed in my rear panniers, because I'm not actually going that far today. It's 50 miles to Twentynine Palms. There is a climb somewhere, and I've just been riding along this flat for the last hour, and I have no idea. I mean, I know there's maps, but I like to live the mystery. I have no idea where along there the pass will be. And yeah, so my solar setup. So I've done this. This is my 3rd month-long tour, and this is my 2nd one through the desert. And I think in both cases, last year I did the Pacific Northwest, which I would not recommend doing, but that may be another video. There's just no room for cars on those roads up there. It's really stressful. So anyway, I have this solar panel. It's a 19 watt, however you pronounce that, Chotec. I got it off of Amazon in 2016, and I've used it for probably about, 3,000 miles. It's been strapped back here, and I use it to charge a brick. I got an Anchor. This is a 10,000, whatever those are, milliamp brick battery. So I charge that throughout the day, and then use that to charge, my phone and my headlight. I've got a good 800 lumen headlight, and my blinky. I have redundant blinkies there in case one runs out or fails. So that solar panel has been great. And if I'm out in the desert like this, like I think I mentioned, I've never had to use an outlet. I've been out for 2 weeks now, and I haven't plugged into an outlet. Yeah, so really it's just like, be prepared to travel long distances self-sufficiently. I've got 3 days worth of food. I have, not quite a day. I've got, let's see, 4, 5, I've got about 7 liters of water, so that should be good for about 6 hours out, and it's a 50-mile ride with a pass, so that should be just about adequate. And arguably I should probably have a little more water than that, but I'm feeling pretty good today, so I think I'll be okay. The other thing is I always stay near the pavement, so if I ever have a, you know, a real breakdown, which has never happened, my safety net is traffic, the kindness of strangers. So, I've also haven't mentioned what I'm wearing. Maybe that's a different video, but basically keep the skin covered as much as you can. Loose fitting, light colored clothing, although I have these, you know, they're arms and leg covers, except they're white, and they have a UV rating. They don't pay attention to the loose fitting clothing part, but they are, what I do is I get them wet before I leave. So this morning, or an hour and a half ago when I left, I soaked them in a sink, stuffed them in a Ziploc, and now, Ziploc, excuse me. Ziploc, that's a different product. And it is 112 degrees out. So I just stopped here and put on these wet, you know, arm and leg covers, and I'm really comfortable right now. As long as they stay wet, I've got evaporative cooling, and you know, it'll last. The humidity here is not as bad as Death Valley. I rode through Death Valley last week, and the humidity there was like 8%. So these things would only stay wet for, you know, 12 minutes or something like that. So I think in the humidity here, I don't know what it is, but it's over 10% and maybe even close to 20%. They'll stay wet for, I don't know, most of an hour. But like I said, I wasn't going to be talking about that, so maybe that's another video.